The sound of handcuffs clicking shut was music to my ears as Detective Rodriguez read Linda, a postal inspector Cartwright, her rights in front of the entire post office. "You have the right to remain silent," he said, while Linda's face cycled through every shade of red in the spectrum. "Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law." The woman who had spent 3 months stalking me on my mail route, screaming about a package that never existed, was finally getting her comeuppance. 27 postal workers had gathered to watch the HOA president from hell get arrested for mail fraud, harassment, and filing false police reports. "This is a mistake," she shrieked, her voice echoing through the marble halls of justice. "I'm the victim here. He stole my package." "Ma'am," Detective Rodriguez said with the patience of a saint, "there was no package. You filed 14 false claims for insurance fraud. But let me back up to where this postal nightmare began, with a doorbell, a clipboard, and Karen's unshakable belief that the entire United States Postal Service revolved around her personal convenience. 3 months earlier, I was finishing my route in Meadowbrook Estates when Linda Cartwright materialized on her porch like a suburban banshee. "Mail carrier," she bellowed, waving her arms like she was directing air traffic. "I need to speak with you immediately." I'd been delivering mail for 12 years. I knew the warning signs of a problem customer, and Linda was practically radioactive with entitlement. "Yes, ma'am," I said, keeping my voice professionally neutral. "I'm Linda Cartwright, president of the Meadowbrook HOA," she announced, as if this title came with federal authority. "I'm missing a very important package. What's the tracking number?" She blinked. "Tracking number? For the package? Every package has a tracking number. I don't have one. But I know I'm supposed to receive a package today. Red flag number 1. Ma'am, without a tracking number, I can't help you locate a specific package." "But you're the mail carrier," she said, her voice rising like a tea kettle. "You should know what packages you're delivering." I explained, as gently as possible, that I deliver hundreds of packages daily and can't memorize every recipient. Linda's face suggested I'd thus confessed to burning down the post office. "This is completely unacceptable," she declared. "I'm filing a complaint with your supervisor." "That's your right, ma'am. Have a good day." I should have known it wouldn't end there. Linda Cartwright wasn't the type to let things go. She was the type to turn mole hills into mountains, and then demand to speak to the mountain's manager. The complaint started the next day. Not 1, not 2, but 7 separate complaints filed with my supervisor about my unprofessional conduct and failure to provide customer service. According to Linda, I had deliberately withheld her package, hostile body language, violated postal regulations by refusing to search my truck, discriminated against her based on her HOA status. My supervisor, Dave, called me into his office with the weary expression of a man who dealt with one too many Karens. "Mike," he said, sliding the complaint forms across his desk, "what exactly did you do to this woman?" I asked for a tracking number. Dave stared at me. That's it. He rubbed his temples. "She's demanding we fire you and assign a new carrier to her route for asking for a tracking number. Apparently, you violated her rights as a taxpayer by not knowing about her mystery package." We both sat in silence for a moment, contemplating the special kind of crazy we were dealing with. "Handle it by the book," Dave finally said. "Document everything." Something tells me this isn't over. Dave was right. This wasn't over, it was just getting started. Linda's next move was to station herself at the end of her driveway every day, waiting for me like a spider in a web. She'd flag me down, demand updates on her non-existent package, and threaten to call the postmaster general when I couldn't produce it. "It's been a week," she'd screech. "Where is my package?" "Ma'am, what was the package supposed to contain?" "That's confidential." "Who was it from?" "I don't have to tell you that." "When was it shipped?" "Stop asking irrelevant questions." She wanted me to find a package with no tracking number, no sender information, no contents description, and no shipping date. It was like being asked to find a specific grain of sand on a beach while blindfolded. But Linda had a solution. She started following me. The stalking began in week 2. I'd be delivering mail 3 streets over, and Linda would appear in her white Honda Civic, creeping along behind my truck like a suburban private investigator. At first, I thought it was coincidence. Then I realized she was actually tracking my route, timing my stops, and confronting me at random houses throughout the neighborhood. "Have you found my package yet?" she'd demand, getting out of her car while I'm trying to deliver mail to completely unrelated addresses. "Mum, I can't discuss your mail at someone else's house. I'll discuss my mail wherever I want. I'm a taxpayer." The other residents started complaining. Not about me, about Linda. She'd park in their driveways, ring their doorbells, and demand they witness my supposed incompetence. Mrs. Johnson from Oak Street called the post office. "Please tell me why the HOA president is camping in my driveway interrogating the mailman." That's when Linda escalated to phase 2 of her master plan, following me to other neighborhoods. The day Linda followed me to Riverside Heights, 15 miles from her house, I knew we'd crossed into restraining order territory. I was delivering a package to an elderly gentleman when Linda's Honda pulled up behind my truck. She got out, marched up to the front door, and interrupted my delivery. "Sir," she announced to the confused homeowner, "I need you to witness this mail carrier's negligence." The elderly man looked at me, then at Linda, then back at me. "I'm sorry." "What?" "This postal worker has stolen my package and is now covering it up." "Ma'am," I said, "my patient's finally wearing thin. You need to leave. You're harassing me at my workplace. I'm exercising my constitutional rights." "Your constitutional rights don't include stalking federal employees." That's when Linda made her fatal mistake. She pulled out her phone and started recording. "I'm documenting this postal worker's admission that he refuses to deliver my mail." She was creating evidence against herself. The next day, Linda appeared at the main post office, demanding to speak to the postmaster. She'd brought charts, timelines, and a 3-ring binder of evidence proving I'd stolen her package. "I've been tracking his route for 2 weeks," she announced to Postmaster Williams, spreading her materials across his desk like a detective solving a murder. "He's clearly hiding my package and covering it up." "Mum," Postmaster Williams said slowly, "tracking postal workers is illegal. I wasn't tracking him. I was investigating mail fraud. By following him to other neighborhoods, I was gathering evidence." That's when I walked in with my own evidence to weeks of Linda's harassment, documented on my phone, plus security footage from every house where she'd confronted me. Double quotes, "Sir," I said, handing over the USB drive. "I think you need to see this." We watched Linda's greatest hits in silence. Her screaming at me in front of a children's birthday party, her demanding access to my mail truck, her following me to a completely different zip code. "Mrs. Cartwright," Postmaster Williams said when the video ended, "I'm calling the police." "Good," Linda declared triumphantly. "I want to press charges against this mail thief." "Ma'am, you're being charged with stalking, harassment, and interfering with mail delivery." The color drained from Linda's face faster than water down a drain. But my package. There was no package," I said, pulling out the final piece of evidence. "I checked with every shipping company. You never had anything shipped to your address. Not last week. Not last month. Not ever. That's impossible. You filed false insurance claims with UPS, FedEx, and DHL for the same non-existent package. That's federal mail fraud." Linda's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. "You stalked a federal employee for 3 months over a package that never existed, then committed multiple felonies trying to collect insurance money for it." Detective Rodriguez arrived 20 minutes later. Linda was still insisting the package was real, the Postal Service was corrupt, and she was the victim of a vast conspiracy. "Ma'am," he said, examining the evidence, "you committed mail fraud. Multiple times. I'm the HOA president." She protested, as if this were some kind of legal shield. Not anymore, Postmaster Williams said, signing the criminal complaint. You're banned from all postal facilities, as they led Linda away in handcuffs. She turned to me with tears in her eyes and said, I just wanted my package. Linda, I replied, savoring the moment, next time you want to commit mail fraud, maybe don't stalk the mailman while you're doing it.